coffee. Tasted yummy. Here we go. It is Tuesday, April 7th. That's the very first Tuesday of April. Yeah. So, this month is going by fairly quickly. So that's at least fairly quickly for me. Although this morning was a very long morning, I will give it that. But there were some pretty wicked cool thunderstorms, which were awesome. You know, April showers bring Mayflowers and all that kind of jazz. So, yeah. So, don't have a whole lot in the way of updates for everybody. However, for some reason I thought it was Wednesday for a second. I was wrong. I just said it was Tuesday. So, there will be an open recovery meeting later today at 4 p.m. If you would like to join us. I'll try not to fidget in my chair too much today. Also, just so y'all know, I am wearing my llama unicorn shirt because why not? I needed something a little bit lighter today. Like I said, this morning was an interesting morning, and you know, I felt like it's a good day to wear a rainbow llama unicorn in a field of stars shirt. So, yeah, helps me feel like a badass. Plus, it's like nice and soft. But anyways, so if you're looking for some extra recovery support, check out the open recovery meeting that's later on today at 4. And as always, if you need some support, we are here for you by phone. You can call us. Our number is 419-423-5071. You can also send us an email, message us on Facebook, leave us a comment, and we will get back to you for sure. And, you know, if you are struggling with something, you know, really tough, or you're in a crisis, or you're in a not good situation, you know, I want you to also, like, reach out for that help. So if you need to call the crisis line, call it. If you need to text to the crisis line, text it. Okay? So text line is 741-741. If you're in a home situation that maybe is not the best for you, you can also call the National Domestic Violence Hotline. There are people there for you as well. So I want you to know that even in this time of physical distancing and staying at home and what all that is, there are people that are here for you. There are people that care, that see you, that acknowledge that you are probably going through some really tough stuff right now, and are willing to be there for you and be that kind of emotional and that social support. So please reach out for help. There is absolutely zero shame, zero guilt, zero negative feelings in reaching out for help. You know, because that's just what we do. That's what I believe in as being a person. So, silence my notifications there. Alright, so let's get into today's recovery check-in, and we're going to start with our moment gratitude. So as I am thinking through my moment of gratitude, I invite you and encourage you to think through your moment of gratitude. It's a super solid foundation for your day, for your life, for your time. You know, it's great to take that gratitude break in the middle of the day here at noon. So my moment of gratitude is that I am grateful for being able to be assertive, which I don't know. You know, so for me, like even today, you know, I'll be honest, like this morning, like I was tired of talking about feelings. I had a tough morning with my kiddo who went on full on toddler mode, and I don't know if you've ever been around a toddler, but funny enough, it was kind of like watching her grow up and learn how to manage emotions and all that so reminds me of early recovery, because like for her, like everything is such like a raw and like just a raw experience emotionally and just what's going on. And this morning she was just dang near inconsolable for about an hour because she wanted her boots on and she didn't want them on, and she wanted to eat and she didn't want to eat, like everything. So, and it was challenging. And I've been talking about feelings with lots of people lately, and this morning, one of my friends, I was like, I just can't, I don't want to talk about feelings right now. Later, maybe, but not right now. So I was able to kind of be assertive and speak up for what my needs, even if that need was, I don't want to talk right now. Later, but not right now. So I am grateful for that. I'm grateful for my recovery journey having brought me to a point where I am able to do that, where I'm able to communicate that in a way that is positive and respectful to both myself and to another person. So if you want some communication tips, you can check out yesterday's recovery check-in. We were talking all about communication. So that's my moment of gratitude. I would love to hear what your guys's are. Feel free to leave a comment, let us know, and all that. So I'm going to take a sip here. Sinuses are a thing today. Okay. So today's recovery check-in, I touch my hair a lot, but we're going to talk about duality. This is something that has been coming up a lot, I think, for a lot of people. So we are in strange times. So when you have like this condition of duality, what that really means is that there's kind of like two opposites that exist at the same time, and creates for like this vortex of weirdness, and that can be really, really struggling to deal with. For some people, there's a big kind of maybe a disconnect between maybe who they are at work and who they are at home. Or for what they have to deal with at work, for what they deal with at home. Right now, in our current public health situation, we have this very weird duality of kind of this emergency state and this concern over public health, and also kind of like typical life stuff. So it's just that very, very strange kind of mixture of typical and not typical smashed together, occurring at the same time, and you're like, I don't know what the F to do with this. I don't know I don't even know. And so like I was even thinking, like, in myself, like I was struggling with some of those emotions of duality, and people that I've talked to, my supporters that I've talked to, where we've been able to exchange, kind of thoughts and feelings about what's going on, it seems like a lot of people are struggling with this. It's like, I feel this, but, and that's kind of that can be a negative way, like, so for example, it's like, I feel anxious, but I know that I don't have anything to be anxious about. Or, I feel sad, but I know I should feel grateful that I can spend some time at home, or, I'm feeling disconnected, but, I should feel grateful that I still have a job. It's always the but is accompanied with a should. When you have those kind of like those dual things going on. So I was thinking about that. I was like, and last night it occurred to me, I had watched a show a long time ago, and there was a little like scene about improv, and one of the rules of improv is yes and so I thought about that last night, and I was like, oh, that's a tool. Like, that's something that I can like bring to bear right now. And then one of my coworkers sent me like a picture meme thing this morning. I just called it a meme. Picture meme thing that had that same topic of yes and at the top. And I was like, all right, here we go, universe. Gonna wear the unicorn shirt, gonna wear the llama shirt, and we're gonna talk about improv. Okay. So in the world of improv, there's this kind of like, one of the rules of improv is yes and. And the whole concept behind yes and is accepting another person's idea and then expounding upon it, because it helps generate brainstorming, it helps generate problem solving, it takes the judgment out of whatever you're saying, because in improv, you can't wear your Judgy McJudge pants, because you're not going to have anything happening. All right, so, if we take that concept of yes and we apply it to mental health, we apply it to behavioral health, we apply it to our mind and our heart and our spirit, what that creates is that environment of non-judgmental acceptance of your emotions, followed by full expression of you as a person. Okay? So break that down a little bit. Human beings, like we are dynamic individuals in a dynamic in society, in a dynamic environment. And what I mean by dynamic is that there's multiple different parts that all come together to make you. Just like there's multiple different parts of an environment that all come together to make whatever kind of environment you're living in, and those things change and they fluctuate. And like I know that my energy level changes from beginning of the day to the middle of the day to the end of the day. The task that I do change throughout the day. Like everything, we're kind of in this state of being influenced and influencing ourselves and our environments. So we are dynamic, changing individuals within a dynamic environment. And so within that, there's their opportunity for duality. And so today's about the yes and the duality is about embracing the fullness of your experience as a human being. Because there's going to be times that you might feel happy and sad at the same time. And this is about giving yourself the permission to feel okay with that. So, we're going to take this concept of yes and apply it to our own mental health and our own wellness. Okay? So by saying yes to that first feeling, you are practicing some non-judgmental acceptance of whatever that feeling is. And then by saying and, you're adding to that experience as a person. You're adding to that emotion. You're adding to that thought your entire rest of your being. You're not like cutting yourself off at the knees, because saying but it should, I feel this, but I should feel blah. You're kind of cutting off part of your human experience. You're cutting off part of your emotions. You're cutting off part of your thoughts. So we're going to flip the but should into a yes and. Okay? So it's I feel sad and I can feel grateful. One thing that I was feeling this weekend is I can have a heavy heart and still feel strong and like a badass. My heavy heart does not make me weak. Okay? You can enjoy extra time with other people that you care about that might live in your house and still want time for yourself. So it's, yes, you can enjoy time with your loved ones, and your children and maybe your spouse or your partner or your roommates or whatever, your friends that you might live with. You can enjoy that extra time, yes, and feel overwhelmed by them. Feel the need to take a break. That's okay. So it's yes, you can feel that and still feel something else. So yes, you can be supportive and need support. Yes, you can feel disappointed by plans changing and shifting and still be grateful that they did because you're not putting yourself or other people at risk. Yes, you can feel like things are falling apart in this very moment and be hopeful. You can be that. You can feel that. Yes, you can feel down and depressed and still function and still get up out of bed and, make your bed and take a shower and make food and do all the good things that are good for you. Yes, you can feel afraid and be courageous and feel like a badass and like you're going to take on the world. Okay? So this is the yes and. This is embracing some of that dual nature. Replacing the but I should with a yes and an and. Because you are a complex person. We are in weird ass times. Okay? There's really I don't think a lot of debate about that. Like things are changing. We're adjusting every day, every moment, sometimes every minute we're adjusting to what kind of is that typical for us right now. And so we need to approach ourselves with a little bit more grace, a little bit more compassion. And if you find yourself doing that, I feel blah, but I should feel this, stop could, woulda, shoulding yourself to death and embrace the yes and. Okay? You're allowed to feel two conflicting things at the same time. I give you permission to be a whole entire freaking person at once. If you need that permission, you got it. Okay? Human emotions can be complicated and they can be complex, but they are less complicated and less confusing when we're able to express them. And express them in whatever way we want to, whether that is through art or movement or talking to someone, or through, working out. Yes, you can do yoga and kickboxing in the same workout if you want. Go for it. Okay, that's a yes and. All right, so I want to challenge y'all to that. Replace the but should with a yes and. Embrace all of your emotions as a person, because the only way through those emotions is through them. Stuffing them down is not going to help. Poo-pooing them isn't going to help. Coulda, woulda, shoulding yourself isn't going to help. Eventually, all that shit's just going to... Man, I am cussing today. All of it's going to just pile up and need to come out at some point. So, the challenge is change your but should into a yes and embrace that. Embrace your entire experience as a human being and as a person, in recovery, not in recovery, living life in a very dynamic time, in a very weird time, in a very odd time. Do that for yourself. See how that shifts your mindset. So I'd love to hear from you if you kind of start practicing that. I'd love to hear how that goes for you. I know something I'm going to be more intentional about, and try to take some of that judgment out of my feelings and remember kind of who I am and that I am a resilient mofo at the end of the day. And we're going to get through this. So that being said, you need support, reach out. There's no shame, no guilt, no nothing in that. We are all people. We all need support. Totally all right. That's why we're here for you. So give us a call, send us a Facebook message, send us an email. I'd encourage bat signals and smoke signals, but I don't know how to read those. So communicate through the typical means, and we'll for sure get back with you. If you would like, keep checking HancockHelps.org for any updates about the public health situation and kind of where things are. We keep that updated every single day, and we're always adding new stuff, so it's a great resource for y'all. Reach out for help if you need it. In the meantime, though, as always, keep your hearts and minds resilient. Remember that you are resilient mofos, and I will see you all tomorrow on Wednesday for our noon recovery check-in.